Well, good evening, folks. Welcome back to VP4 Online. I had every intention of going through the bracket here, but we have run out of time straight away because Antza has just turned up in the lobby, and we've got about a minute before the room goes up, so we're going to have to knock that idea in the head. Right. We're all set to go. Good evening and welcome. We have another match in this year's VP4 9-ball Masters World Championship 2020. The one lost side is a race to 11. It's between antza555, I'm just going to call him Ants, and Bedhead. And Antza has just arrived. Well, at least I saw him 30 seconds ago, and he is in a room. He's not going to be doing much warming up because he's just arrived. And Bedhead's in here permanently in away mode usually, but he has been warming up. The chat should be working. And I still can't bloody well read it. I thought I'd change the text on the chat, but I cannot read that from here. Anyway, welcome whoever you are. I think I can see Keith's name. Just a word of note: if there's a problem with YouTube, then I can't do anything about it. It must be the way they've set things up now, but everything is authorized. YouTube should be working, Twitch should be working, the room's up, and it's should be live stream. I think they're lagging now, that's why I can't get in. I hope that's the problem. Don't tell me we're going to have issues, or I'm going to have to kill the stream. Yeah, this is not a good sign. I can't get in the room. Big delay getting into this damn room. I'm going to have to probably kill the game. Oh no, we're in at last. That took a while. That's excuse me, I've got hiccups. I've just had another Chinese tonight. That's 2 in the last 5 days to make up for lost time. Antza is from, now did that say, was that a Finnish flag? I think that's a Finnish flag, yes, and it also says Finland below it. That gives you a bigger clue. So it's a Scandinavian battle tonight. We've got a battle between Bedhead and Antza, and if I have streamed this guy before in this tournament, I can't remember. But so as far as I'm concerned, this is my first time I've seen him tonight. Let's have a look at the chat, see if we can see who's who. I don't recognise that name. Oh, good evening. Yeah, I recognise that one. So we've got about 3 people in anyway. So there goes the lag. And remember, no jump cues, alternate break. And Antza has won the lag. So you can see there is a huge difference in ratings here. So that immediately tells you Bedhead's the favourite, if you go by that. And, well, what a day we had yesterday, if you joined us. The 2 videos are on YouTube now, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 was the part for about an hour and 50 minutes without YouTube, and then the remaining 4.25 hours is all the channels working with the rest of the matches that we streamed yesterday. We ended up having 4 matches, 6 hours worth of live VP4 online, and well, I enjoyed it if my backside didn't enjoy it, because I had a numb bum, and I didn't sleep very well last night either because my head was buzzing. I think I woke up about 5 o'clock this morning, and then within 10 minutes I was on VP4. Yeah. All that concentrating I was doing, the head was spinning. So Antza has played a nice little draw shot to get onto the 5. I think he's too straight though. He might have a slight angle, but he's going to have to, again, get the work on the cue ball. What's that there? Something about free Santa. Something see Santa. Oh, me, right. I see what you're talking about. Yeah, I've got far too much hair than what I'm used to, but I've certainly got a lot more hair than Paula has, I know that. Well, there's a mistake. Didn't get good on the 6. And Bedhead with a chance to pinch this rack if he can. This is one of his favourite shots, exactly from where he is. This is the Bedhead shot. So it's up and down, and he's overcut it. And he's going to leave it on, so is Antza going to take his second chance, and can he see the 6? Yes, he can. Oh, well, the first time he played the draw shot, he played it pretty good, but he's overhit that by a mile and immediately given himself problems. But he's got to get the pace right in this. And the 8 ball will go past the 9, can see that. If that's where he ends up, with the angle that he has, he may well have to help the cue ball get down to that side. Yeah, because he's running narrow, but he's going to get there. Needs a little brush, and that will do. And this time, well, this is a little fiddly edge on this 9 ball. And Antza is off the mark. It's taken him a couple of bites at the cherry to get there, but he's on the board, and the break goes to Bedhead. 9 ball goes in, something else went in, but the 9 ball gets respotted, and the 6 ball has gone. Yeah, if Antza had been here earlier, we would have a wee bit longer look at the bracket. But I do have a double header in a couple of days' time. There are 2 matches set for the same day, and thankfully, I think at different times. And I think they are both one-loss side matches. There's also the match between Moz and Keith from Northern Ireland, which, of course, the two of them bloody well set it so I can't stream it. It's at 9 o'clock at night, and I'll be long gone. So you're going to have to watch it on what do you call it, Twitch. So the little double kiss safety, and Bedhead, is he going to take the bait? Yes, he is. The trap has been laid. Now can he kick the 2 in? I thought this chat text would be a lot better for me. I'm going to have to make it bigger. I'm going to have to actually make it bigger again so I can actually see it. That looks a good shot. And the delay, for what I'm seeing, is very, very minimal. It'll be a bit longer on YouTube, provided YouTube is working. Well, Bedhead done the hard part first, getting the kick in on the 2 ball, but he's missed a 3, and I think there's enough of it showing. A quick look, or is there? Well, this is awkward because look where he is, right over the 9. He's just going to have to skim the 7, but he can just chip the 3 in, and needs a bit of luck, and that will do. Little brush onto the 9. That comes in very handy. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Well, there's nothing wrong with the chat for you guys because you're sitting in front of your computer screens and you can see it no problem. I've got it on my second monitor, which is that little tiddly monitor that I've got, and I cannot read that with my eyes. It's not big enough. It just looks like a load of jumbled up letters from here. I can barely see people's names. I can't see it. Well, that I can't change the format of the text in terms of it being capitalized or not. It's just the font is like that on that one, but I'll be changing it. Yeah. Well, answer. Is he going for the thin cut? Looks like it. But this for 2-0. Needs to watch the cue ball though. And it goes. Cue ball misses the scratch. And it's 2-0. Well, Bedhead made problems for himself there. Got the kick in the 2. Missed the 3. And Answer has duly obliged by taking out the rack. And the break with Answer, although I think it's dry. Yeah. Now, let's have a look up the table while Bedhead's looking at the 1 ball. Well, the 9 isn't set if you were right down in the corner. Bedhead looking for cover. And hasn't got it, and he's left a 1 on. But as I say, when you look at where the 2-9 is, Answer's going to have a bit of bother getting anywhere up there. And I don't think that was a wise move. I think he's got himself in a hole here. He needed to hit that with a lot more power to make sure he nudged things out of the way. And, well, he done the right thing there in actually making sure that the 2-9 were split apart. And that is actually a thing that a lot of players don't do. You know, but he's unlucky. He's now left a 2-9 combo. I mean, that is unlucky, but he had the right idea in playing the deliberate foul to open up that possible combo. And, well, Bedhead didn't get the combo. And the 2's gone in, and look where the 3 ball is. Well, he's getting into a deeper hole every shot he plays. And, well, if Bedhead's getting all his bad luck, he's best to get it right now because we're only in the first 2 or 3 racks. So, but this isn't good signs the way things are going at the moment. Yeah, I didn't like that angle there at all. It was too narrow to try and get that to kick off the end rail towards the 3. And so, his Answer going for the 3-9. You're damn right he is. Welcome to any latecomers. I've used Broadcaster before, XSplit Broadcaster. Now I'm using it again. I'm just trying to familiarise myself with it. So the chat will get changed for the next time. I'll need to work out something better for me. In fact, what I think I'll do is I'll have the chat on the top half of the stream, and you'll have to look between the chat to see the table. That way it'll be big enough so that I can see it on my second monitor. Or I'm going to have to go out and find one of those old things from about 40, 50 years ago, a magnifying screen that you used to put in front of your television to make the screen look bigger. I'm going to need one of them for an old 12-inch monitor or 14-inch monitor, whatever size this thing is. but it's nowhere near big enough for what I need to be able to read. Well, it's 3-0 and Bedhead. Well, if Bedhead looked at the ratings and thought, well, this should be no problem, well, he's finding out early on that he's got a problem and he's going to have to work. And this is one of these awkward shots because I think he's blocked out by the 6. Yep. And this is tough because look where the 5 is. I mean, can he hit that 6 ball thin enough to brush off it, because the angle looks too much, but the 6 ball could help him here if he gets the right kick off it, but I think he's got too much angle in the 4. Yep, he's played the billiard and the 4 ball hasn't escaped, and that was a good shot. Wonder if the replay's working. No, it isn't. I think I need to authorise it again. I think that's what I need to do, and that's the one thing I forgot before the start of the stream. Yep, I've always got technical issues. There's always one thing I've forgotten, and that is what I've forgotten. And I think it seems silly, but I think you have to connect the replay to restream each time. It doesn't automatically stay there, because I noticed that this morning when I was doing some testing, and each time you boot up game XSplit Broadcaster, you have to authorise the damn thing, and that's why the replay's not working. So it's now 3-1. Bedhead's off and running, and he's broke off, or sorry, Antza's broke off, and rack number 5 gets a ball, and he's going to have to play the push. If you could see that one, the combo was no problem, but the 2 balls acting as a blocker. And I think he'll be put back in here by Bedhead. There's no sense in trying to do anything creative there. And, well, Antza didn't get the safety, and Bedhead's got his chance. And once again, when you're playing the push out, you've got to have your wits about you and play a sensible push out. And when you play something too tough and too awkward, you know exactly what's going to happen. You're going to end up getting it handed back to you. But Bedhead now has got himself out of line in the 2 into a blind pocket. It's always difficult. And that was a better shot. Now, is that the 8 ball that's up the table? Because my eyes are so bad. No, it is the 8 ball. So the 8 ball, if he was going the right hand side, would be a problem. He's just trying to bring it down as far as he can without blocking out behind the 7. So this isn't over yet, this rack. What does that say? What about plain noobs? I've missed half the chat anyway, so I don't know what's been happening. Well, that's a good shot again. It's a bit awkward being so close, but Bedhead's trying to dig deep already to stop Antza getting away. Right, guys, as soon as this shot goes in, give me 1 minute and I'll be right back. I'm just going to try and fix this replay thing. And that's not working either. Well, I just checked that I did set it for the replay to work, because the little green light was on, so that was telling me that the replay function is working. It didn't work after that last shot I tried. I'll try it in a second or two. A minute. Hang on. Right, that's the last time I'm going to piss about with that. If it doesn't work again the next time, we'll knock it in the head. Everything again, looking at the little highlights, everything is lit up, so if it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. We'll work out what I'm doing wrong. So Bedhead back to 3-2. And in good shape here, although he's a bit straight in the 6. Very straight in the 6. He's going to have to try and, well, he's decided he's not trying to create anything. He's going to play it long, and this is where you can end up in trouble. Not easy. Just has to watch the cue ball doesn't escape too far, and there's a mistake. And, well, that's going to cost him. Can Antza take it out and drive the punishment home? Because that's exactly what you want to do when you see your opponent do that. You want to make them pay for it, and you want to make it hurt. Oh, that's what I forgot. Everybody, how does my audio sound? I'm not talking about the game, I'm talking about me, because I turned it down. I was listening to the broadcast yesterday. I was looking at the video, and it was far too harsh, it was far too loud. And so I've toned it down a fair bit to make it a wee bit softer. So hopefully it's okay. That's a good shot. And Bedhead, well, he's making mistakes, and he's playing these shots from distance. You just cannot keep getting them. And he's back to trailing by 2, and the break now has been stolen again by Antza. It's back with him for rack number 7. This time though, I didn't hear anything go. It looks dry. So Bedhead now has the chance with a wide open table. The only problem ball would be the 5 being hiding behind the 6, and that could be an issue. I mean, although it's open to the pocket, it's not open to get on it too good. You have to make sure that cue ball gets right up the table. So there could be trouble ahead here for Bedhead. That's the one to think about, because look at where the 4 ball is, and that's why I'm saying there could be an issue. If he doesn't get good in the 4, he could have a big problem finding the path down for this 5 ball. What the hell happened there? Why did the bloody thing jump? Because I never touched anything. I wasn't even touching the keyboard. I was going for my bottle. Sorry about that, guys. Well, here's the shot to get on the 5. And he's got there. But I don't think he can avoid hitting the 6. There's no way he can avoid hitting the 6. He just has to hope he leaves it in the open. Well, he has managed to avoid hitting the 6. That was a cracking shot because I didn't think there was any way he could get enough on it to actually miss it. He's done well to do that. Is everybody still there, or have I lost my signal altogether? Because I don't know what the hell went on there. Have I muted my mic as well? Let me check. I've not done that. Thank God. Well, Bedhead again, the old toughie, and he's managed to avoid hooking himself, and looks like he's going to get back within 1 again. And this time, Bedhead has stolen the break back, which could be to his advantage if he can get a ball and get a run out in this next rack. 7 ball has gone, and he has a shot in the 1. 2 ball in the middle of the table, and 3 ball hiding behind the 9 down here. Well, again, way too much on the wrong side of this too. Let's have a look and see how it looks from here. Oh, he's not got any room here between the 5 and 9 to see the 3, or see enough of it to pot it. So that option's out of the equation, and the angle he's got, he's going to run into traffic. So he's going to have to do something big time here if he's going to even see the 3 ball. Well, he thinks he can get through the gap. I'm not convinced. He can certainly play the safety. He can kill the cue ball stone dead and punch the 3 around the table. That's the odds-on shot he's going to play, but he's not potting the 3. And he doesn't want the 3 to go in. And that will do. But in all honesty, this isn't a difficult kick. I mean, if he goes too narrow, he'll hit the left rail and still kick into the 3. He's got a fair margin of error to hit the 3, but I would suggest it could be the first diamond, the 3rd diamond in the right rail, or just between it and the middle pocket, and he's missed it. It was a bit wider than what I thought, but Bedhead gets the reward for playing the safety and has ball in hand to square the match. Well, Bedhead is good. He gets out of line as much as Stubb does. It's the potting ability in a lot of occasions that keeps him at the table, but sooner or later both of them run out of steam. And, you know, there's your example there, trying to get up for the 6. The mistake's been made. Now, has he got away with it? Yes, he has. Well, I know what I'd be doing. I'd be skimming in behind that 6 ball. I don't think he's getting there. He's way, way short. The touch isn't there for that shot. He's about a foot or more short of where that cue ball should have been, off the side rail, end rail, and in towards the 6. So that is a get out of jail card there for Bedhead, because there's no way he should have been seeing this 5 ball. That was not a difficult shot to play. Now, is that going to go through the gap? Well, he's lucky it hit one of those balls there, because that 5 ball, it may well have went in, as a matter of fact. But antza555's now playing at distance, and this is difficult to get this so thin that you just move it to the end rail and get the cue ball back down the bottom end here. You get it too thick, you're bringing it into play. Well, I didn't think he could cut that. Where's the cue ball going? It's going in the hole, is it? No. Well, that was some cut shot there. Let's just try this replay once more. Think you could cut that. Oh, it's working. It's going in the hole, is it? No. And I turned the volume down on the replay as well earlier today. So with the volume down, it doesn't sound so harsh as well. Well, it's working now. It's warmed up. I doubt it must have to run for a minute or two until it builds up a cache memory of, because I think I've set the timer to 15 seconds or something for the replay. So at least it's working. You must just have to let it run for a little while. Well, it's now 5-3 to antza555, and again he's stolen the break. And these mistakes are coming at the wrong time for Bedhead. They're coming on his break. Well, there's the mistake by antza555. He's scratched. Well, I could run this table. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, just roll it into the left middle pocket and roll through. Roll through far enough. Roll up to the 9 ball. Well, I don't fancy taking it that way. You've got to make it more simple. Roll it into the left middle with a little bit of angle and roll up the table somewhere to the right of the 9 ball. Or run it straight into the corner pocket. You don't make things more complicated. And as long as he gets to, there you go. Commentator's eye said it again. Get it up near the 9 ball. Has he got a good angle though? He can make the angle, but he might want to check this up to come across towards the 5 and avoid a scratch. And he's well safe. Well, I've already given him this rack. That just shows you how generous I am, because, if I say I can win, I can run out this rack, then it must be easy. As long as you keep control of the cue ball and get it to more or less where you want it to be, there shouldn't really be an issue. Well, you see, this is the one that's going to be the problem. He wants to bring that cue ball between the 5 and 9 to take any risk of any hook shot behind the 9. He wants to get it in between them, so he needs to just help the cue ball a wee bit here. Well, he's obviously thinking he's just going to roll this into the middle, is he? Well, I must admit, I didn't like that shot. I think he's just looking to find more problems. I would have been more comfortable getting between the two of them, but he's got it done. It was tight into the middle pocket. But this again, to get back within 1, and he can only draw back here. He's dead straight as an arrow on this 7 ball. Right, I'll have a look at the chat and see if I can read anything. I mean, I'd love to know how many players actually use trackball mice in VP4. I bet there isn't many. Where it's 5-4 with Bedhead breaking off in rack number 10. 2 ball, 8 ball have gone on the 1, and this is another one I'm giving to Bedhead to square the match. I've only got a couple of dregs left in my bottle of water as well. Well, if he keeps it dead where the cue ball, where the 5 ball is, he'll have the angle to drop onto the 7. And I don't think, well, Bedhead hasn't been in front in this match yet. But we're now pretty much at the midway point in the match. And the first objective is to clear the deficit, get himself back on even par. And that's where we're going to be. Well, what we'll do at the end of this match, we'll have a look at the bracket. Excuse me, because we do have the bracket up and running now. So Antza with the break, and the break is dry. And Bedhead surely isn't going to cut this. Excuse me again. I suppose he could just play the negative safety and just roll up to the 1. But there's not really a great deal of options on. You know, the only option you have is to come left, thin off the 1, but if you do that, you're just bringing the 1 into play. Although you have a fair chance of getting cover if you can get the cue ball to run down the left side of the table far enough. You might get something behind that 3 and 8 ball if you get the 1 thin enough, but if it's close to the pocket, it's probably going to get kicked in somehow or other. Well, he's played a much better shot and used the 8, and that is pretty good. That will do, although there's an edge showing. Now, Antza can get distance. Oh, he's hit that too hard. Oh, well, no, he hasn't. That's an excellent shot. Let's see that. That will do, although there's an edge showing. Now, Antza can get distance. Oh, he's hit that too hard. Oh, well, no, he hasn't. That's an excellent shot. And Bedhead has ended up in a bit of a mess here, all thanks to that shot by Antza. You must admit, anywhere else the 1's wide open, and Antza got the cover. He got the objective one way or another, and Bedhead is looking for a line to get to this 1 ball, probably 2 rails here. I don't think he's going to hit it direct. He may well be looking to hit it side rail, and kick the 1. No, he's managed to get there. How's his luck? Not bad. He'll settle for that. That's all you can do. Just hope you get it. If you don't get cover, at least make it awkward. And this is not easy. Although there's an angle to run and drop behind the 3 ball. But remember, Ants has to get this, or an object ball, towards a rail. He's gone all out for the 1. Has he got lucky again? I think he has. I don't know whether he can. No, he can't cut it. But an easy opportunity for Bedhead to bury Ants this time. But there is a line. There's a line and a gap to get to the one. Oh, he's kicked it in, and he's on a shot in the two. Wow. But there is a line. There's a line and a gap to get to the one. Oh, he's kicked it in, and well, that was another shot of the night from that safety he previously played. Now, can he take advantage of it? Well, he's not going to do it from here. He's going to have to pull out another great shot here. This is horrible. Well, I've seen a couple of good shots. Oh, I thought the 9 was going to go, but the 3 is open, and Bedhead now has a chance. He certainly doesn't have a chance to play the 4-9 combo. He's going to come back across the table, and he's got the wrong angle in the 3. Well, he's went for the kick. Oh, he's going to pay the price big time if he doesn't get cover, and he's got it. Well, how lucky is that to roll behind the 7? And of course, anybody that had a jump cue would have lobbed over the 7 and played that combo, but of course we don't have that option, and Ants has to just hit something up there and move things. Oh, well, I think that was a cracking shot again. Let's look at that. Surely it was. Oh no, it was a foul. I thought he just caught the 3 before he billiarded onto the 9, and obviously it didn't, and I had given him the rack. That was strange, wasn't it? I mean, first glance, that looked as if it had worked out perfect. And Bedhead has been reprieved again. So we're all square, 5 racks all. Bedhead seems in a state of confusion here, but it's fairly straightforward. Get the cue ball up, leave an angle in the 4 to find your way back down the table. Don't go straight. Well, he's going to have to move it again. Lots of top, bit of help in English. Avoid the 8 ball and come across the table to find the gap somewhere here for that. And he's missed the 8, but he's hit the point of the pocket. And now it's yet another chance for Bedhead to show his talents at the high cut shots. But he really knows he has to take this out at 5 racks all. Crucial rack. Oh, this time he's played a lot of drag to try and hold it, which he did, and he's held it too well, and wouldn't you know it, he's found the only ball that could be the problem, right behind the 7, and Bedhead's retrieval may have just blown out the window here if he doesn't get lucky. And I think if that slows up, he's okay, although I know the reverse bank looks too good. Is he going to play the soft cut and run for the long grass? I think that's what he's thinking. Could use the 8 and 9 as cover here if he gets a good pace in this. And that is an excellent shot. That has got the job done. Good control of pace. Easy kick though, but it still gives Ants the control of the table. Bedhead looking for a similar outcome, but the spin has brought the cue ball back left, and the cut is on, albeit not an easy thing here coming up. And well, it's on a knife edge, this rack, let alone the match now. Little nudge, and that will do very nicely indeed. Thank you very much. Now, anybody in the chat that remembers when we used to have 9-ball doubles, who was the partner of well, Dizzle, who is Franco, who was Dizzle's partner for a while? Oh, that's not the guy I'm thinking about. No. What was the name of the other guy from Finland? There was a guy from Finland that was around for a while, and he changed his name 3 or 4 times. I still can't think of his name, and I'm just wondering if this is him playing in this match here, because he could pot a ball. No, not iZoom, Bill. I got myself confused. Not iZoom, but he was from Finland. And as I say, iZoom, to my knowledge, never changed his name on a regular basis, but this guy did, and it's not fluke either, Andy. If you keep saying the name, you know, whoever says it, I'll know who it is. I'm just wondering if this is him. What the hell was his name? It wasn't a really short name, like 4 or 5 letters. It was like 8 or 9 letters. I cannot for the life of me think of his name. Oh, that's really frustrating. Somebody type his name. I can't remember him. Anyway, as I say, I've never seen this guy before, but he's now got ball in hand, and he's got a 6-5 lead. Oh well, he's left that a bit short. What was his name? That really does my head in when I can't think of who that is. But he's obviously we haven't seen him around here for a long time either. But he did play in Monday Night 9-ball doubles for quite a while. But it wasn't iZoom. No, I mixed myself up. Well, what's he going to do here? I think it's obvious what he's going to do. And of course, I think he has to be really all out and play this with a dead weight pace to try and nudge that 7 in, because the 4 ball will run away. He's going to take the cue ball down left and hope the 4 ball falls into shape, and that is perfect. I mean, he couldn't have played that at any better pace to make sure the 4 doesn't run away. And he should have an angle in the 5. Well, I say he should have an angle. He's got a slight angle. Going to have to punch this in. Maybe a wee bit of help and spin to get the cue ball out. Get it out into the table. Well, if Bedhead is going to prove his worth in this tournament, he's going to have to start digging deep any time now, because he's running out of racks and running out of breaks. And this is going to be the crucial shot, because if he drops through with the angle he's got in the 6, he's got enough angle to just drop through and get in between the 8 and 9. Well, there is no way in this earth he should have ever played that as a shot, because the angle was there to roll through. I mean, you take the tangent line off the object ball and you look at where the cue ball's going to go, and it's going to run between the 8 and 9. And he did not need to thump that like that and end up where he ended up. He's given Bedhead a chance that, again, he should never have had. And it's all or nothing on this bank. Oh, that's all over the place. That has gone haywire. And Ants is going to pinch this rack eventually. Although he can steal a wee bit on this 8 ball. Just bring it up the table. If he hits this too hard, he's going to spin towards... Well, he's gone for the draw. And that'll do. But he should never have played that shot. That's worked out somehow or other, and it's all gone wrong for Bedhead. Missed the bank by a mile, and he's going to be trailing by 2. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, looking at that shot that he had there, he had enough angle to get the pot and use the angle to roll between the 8 and 9. I mean, a crazy shot to play, but it doesn't matter. It's all in the past. It's 7 racks to 5, and Ants has got the break, and Bedhead is in a heap of trouble. But you know what they say, if you're going to win a tournament, sometimes you've got to win them the hard way. And Bedhead is in that position right now. And what's Ants got here? Well, not a lot. Is he looking to punch this 3 in with a 1 ball? That might be what he's looking to do. Although, when you look at it from where he's played the shot, even that's not a great shot. Just looking for safety. And I think there's an edge of that 1. Now, once again, the problem Bedhead has with this shot, if he edges the 1, he'll just bring it out towards a 7. So he's got to try and hide the cue ball. And the 7 may well just hang up the 1 and hold it for a pot into that corner, depending how much of this 1 ball he can see. Well, he can see half of it. You see, he's avoided the 7, but he needs the cover, and it's the 9 ball that's undone him there. And so the 2 ball doesn't pass the 4, and that's Bedhead's lifeline on that side of the table. Because looking at the shot that Ants has got, it's dead straight, poker straight, and he can only go forward and back. Forward's not an option. And that needs to spin and come across the 2, which it has done. And he's got a shot. And that's a good shot from that distance. Now, quick check in the 5. I think it goes no problem. Yep. Yeah, that angle that I was talking about, that's all it was. You use the angle. You see, the thing is, you don't have to start trying to create anything. When you have an angle there, that's what the game's all about. The game's all about angles. What you don't want in any game of billiards is a straight shot most of the time. You want to have an angle that allows you to do things with the cue ball, and the angle he had was a perfect little angle for a stun, but he thumped this thing trying to create something when he didn't need to. Those are the type of sort of obvious mistakes that players make. Well, where's this going? I think he's okay. Well, where's the problem going to be here? I think the problem at the end of this rack is the fact that Bedhead's going to be trailing by 3 racks. I can't see anything other than that. The only awkward thing here is the gentle cut in this 4. He's just got to be careful with the pace here and be confident enough to go through with the shot. if the cue ball escapes up left, I think he's checked it a bit there to make sure he didn't run up behind the 6. Now, what's he thinking here? A billiard off the 9? Off the 5 to skim the 9? I thought that's what he was looking at there for a sec. Who somebody said 11-5 to Bedhead? Well, it's certainly not looking like that here. It's looking the opposite right now, although once again Antza's found himself a way to get in trouble. Well, this is anybody's guess where this is going. It could be a cut, it could be a bank, it could be a cut to the corner, it could be a bank to the right corner. He's got to get in the cue ball, and there's a mistake. And where's it going? It's going over the corner. Well, no, it hasn't. I think Bedhead will cut this, though. Yeah. And this is vital. Cue ball's okay. And like I've said time and time again, when you end up behind and you're on alternate break, you have to rely on your opponent, because you can't just rely on what you do. You know what you have to do. It's your opponent that has to help you. And Bedhead is getting a little bit of assistance in this rack. Now, who's got the break? Well, Bedhead's stolen the break and breaks off in rack number 14. Still trailing by 1. And comes up dry. And he's okay, he's not left it. I had 57 viewers last night at peak on my stream. I think that was getting up there for one of the highest I've ever had. And there's PewDiePie sitting there with 100 million subscribers. And I've got 378. Oh dear. But I'm twice his age, I'll have you know. Well, Antza had a blast there, and he's come out smelling of roses. He's left nothing. Bedhead's going to have to play a good safety. He needs a good safety to swing this rack for him. He needs to get something nice and tight and make it really awkward. That 5 and 7 could come in very handy. And it almost did. Now, is there enough of the one showing for a pot? There certainly is, because that 7 ball's a good guide for the hit point on the 1. Needs to get the cue ball up the table though. And I think he's judged the pace of that pretty well. That's good. Well, now let's have a look at the 5. Well, that is a problem, but he can still use it to hide behind if he has to. Now, this is a time to play the breakout and take the risk that he's still going to have a shot in the 3. And this is the one you have to just rely on the balls going in the right direction and not blocking yourself. And I think he's come out okay. That's worked out fine. He needs to get across the table and up. Get up high enough. He doesn't want to leave one of these silly angle cuts. And the only thing that's happened here is he's going to be playing from distance because he's pretty straight. He doesn't want to try and force anything here with this 5 ball. Take your medicine, pot the 5, and leave everything long and get the job done. That's the main objective. How is he sitting on this one? Again, he has the angle to get that cue ball. Well, he can go inside to go on the shorter side of the 7, down the 8, sorry, down the left side, but he can go wide to the right. He has the choice of options here as to what he's comfortable with. Well, again, he wanted, it's being critical, but he wanted to be here. He wanted to be here rather than here. And see the difference between here and here? That's the difference between running out and not running out. See, now he's gone square, and these are treacherous. These easy to push it to the knuckle, but in it goes, and finally he's got it done, and he's back all square. But of course, alternate breaks are frustrating. It goes back to your opponent, and the 7 ball has gone, and he's on the 1, and the table's wide open. And well, I'm going to say it, this rack should be over, and should be back in the lead. It's going to take, I suppose the problem now is going to be the 3. He has to have, and of course the 8 ball is a problem because it's blocking the path for the 3 into the corner. So this isn't quite as I first thought until I studied the table. You look at the way the 3's sitting, he's got, well, he's in no great shape to be playing the 3 anyway, but he could play the billiard onto the 9 off that 3. Is he playing the bank? Oh, he's nowhere near that. The billiard shot was much easier. To me, the billiard shot was a lot easier to read than what the combo was. I'd have been more comfortable playing the billiard. But anyway, he's not left anything easy for Bedhead. I don't know about you guys, whether you'd have tried to play the combo at that angle. I would have much preferred playing off the right side of the, what was it, the 3 ball, and skimming onto the 9 to make the billiard. You just play it with a good enough pace to at least give the 9 every chance to go in the pocket. I thought the combo was much more difficult. Anyway, Bedhead's missed a difficult cut, but he's left the shot on for Ants. And that 9 ball, well, it's not going to be good enough cover. Now, Ants needs to be careful with this though. He needs to just tweak this in. But the angle he's got, the cue ball wants to run away, and he's just managing to hold it. He's okay. And it looks like a straight draw to the rail, and just missed the 5 ball. I think he's dead straight. Yep, he's going to miss the 5. Well, he has to be certain that he's going to get a good, decent angle on this 8 ball, because he doesn't want to leave it straight and have to try and force the 8 in to make the cue ball move, because if he does that, he's probably going to hang it up. So you don't make that error. You either go well inside the inside the 8 to the rail. Well, he's given himself more than enough angle. So it's just a matter of totally focusing on the pot. You don't worry about the cue ball. You know the cue ball's going over to the right, so you don't need to think about it. Just pot the 8. That's the objective. That's all you're interested in doing, with enough pace to bring the cue ball across. And he'll be back into the lead. And that will do. And Bedhead is not going to be winning this easy at the end of the night. He's got an awful lot of hard work to do. But I think the break goes back to him, so he can't ask for any more help. He's got the break, and he has to get the luck, because that's the other element of the game that will help in a big way. So trailing 8 racks to 7, and of course he gets no joy, and every ball in the middle of the table, and every ball has a pocket. Although Ants is going to have to play something good here, looking to hide the cue ball, and he hasn't got there. Bedhead rolls the one in, just gentle enough to drop through, but he needs to leave the angle in the 2, so you don't want to run through too far. You don't want to go anywhere there. You want to be sort of here, just so you can stun the 2 and drop onto the 3. That's a simple shot. So you've got to think about where the cue ball is going to be. He's looking to play a draw. Well, I don't know. Again, I mean, if that had worked out fine, he looks good. But at the end of the day, the shot I suggested was a far bloody simpler shot, because you're trying to leave an angle to drop through onto that 3. I mean, roll the cue ball through to you. The 2 ball was there, so you get the cue ball there with a little angle, stun it in, draw the cue ball to there, you're on the 3, roll the 3 in, you're on the 4. I mean, you're rolling down for the 5. I mean, the pattern was there to get yourself out. And Bedhead's just played, for me, the wrong shot. Because when you come across to the left of the table and there's object balls in the way, the way I suggested, there was nothing in the way. The table was wide open to the left-hand corner pocket from the 2 and the 3, and to me that was a bad mistake at a crucial time in a match. He's trailing, and he's trying to run racks here. He's not trying to create problems for himself, but he's just done that right there. And now nudging into the 5. He's back in trouble again. Now the safety is cut the 3 in behind the 6 and 9. Get that cue ball well down the table. So get it nice and thin with enough pace to go to the rail and in behind the 6 and 9 and get the cue ball up. Miss the 8 ball or the 4 ball and come down here. Well, he's trying to leave it at the short end. And I think he's just got there. But I still prefer my shot, because the other objective you're doing is you're keeping distance between the balls. I mean, short distances are a lot easier to kick generally. You know, it's a lot easier to read the angle sometimes, but to me, getting distance creates problems for your opponents as well, even if you don't get full cover. But Bedhead has a chance here, but again, he's got work to do. The 5's in an altered position, and that, to me, will be the rack decider. This 5, he's found a gap, got enough room. Well, that's another bottle gone. Oh, that chat is horrible. I cannot read it. Well, Bedhead, I mean, I'm no expert, although I'm a tactical genius, but he's played wrong shots where you want to make it simple. Okay, as I say, if he hadn't hooked himself behind the 7, it would have all looked nice, but you've got an object ball that's a potential to be in your way. And my choice of shot, my suggestion was the right one, because you're not going over that side of the table to where the danger is, where things are in the way and the potential for things to get in the way. And you have to take these things out of the equation if you can. But, well, here's the crucial one, to get back all square. Now, can he get good on the 9? The 9's off the top rail. We know what happens. You go behind the 9, you're in trouble. You don't want to go on the short side, leave these awkward cutbacks. Just up past the middle pocket will do on the left side. And that'll be perfect. Now, every rack is crucial, one way or another. Bedhead to try and keep on Ant's tail, which he's been trying to do for the whole of the match. But is he going to get something happening that will take him into the lead? Or is Ant's going to keep him at arm's length? And that is only water I'm drinking. Well, the first part has worked out in Bedhead's favour, although he's on the 1. He's got no second shot, I don't think. No. So he can tie Ant's behind that 3 ball. Unless he tries something fancy. And this is where you don't stick your neck out. He's trying to break them. Well, he either tried to break them or he tried to get there. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But he's landed on a 2-7 combo. And that 2 might go up that way if he hits it too hard and he's okay. Well, is this going to be a deciding rack one way or another? And can Bedhead find a simpler way to get himself out? Well, these balls are all lined up pretty much middle of the table. This is like a practice drill. Leave yourself the angle on the 4 to drop up for the 5. Because all he wants to do... What's the angle he's got? A little soft cut. I think he can still hold for the 4 in the middle. If he wants to check it, he can come this way or draw back. He's got 2 choices, but he needs the angle to get to the 5. Yeah, he's played the first suggestion. He's not gone far enough, though, for comfort's sake. He's got too much angle here. And, well, he's going to have to do something, and he's going to run into something here. Yep, he's having to dig. Little soft dig, just to kill the pace in the cue ball. Well controlled. And he's just holding it together here. 9 ball, again, well up the table off that top rail. So it's the percentage shot again. You get yourself on that 8 ball where you have the angle to drop up past the middle pocket on either side, whichever is your preference. So but he has to get there. He doesn't want to leave himself. He doesn't want to chicken out and leave himself way high on this 9. Got to get into the ball and get it moving. And that is almost there. A little tweaker, a little tester for 9-8. And in it goes. Cue ball safe. Is that the vital rack that's going to help Bedhead survive in this tournament? And he has the break and he needs a ball. And nothing's happened. And the worst thing's happened. He's left Ant's a shot. Well, this has got hill all the way in this one as well. This is a case of join the dots again. I mean, you take your time, you use your shot clock, and you think, right, what am I doing here? What's my next shot? Just get the cue ball high enough, find the gap between the 6 and 7, punch the 3 in, off that top rail, little bit of inside right, possibly, because you don't want to try and leave it straight on this 4. Well, I think he's straight enough he can just draw back for the 5. That's going to have to do. And I think the angle might draw the cue ball towards the rail. He doesn't want to be playing close to the rail. You see, now this is... Well, he's far enough out and he's got enough angle just to drop across and not scratch in the right middle pocket. Vital rack now. Everything's vital. But now the shoe's in the other foot. Ants is now chasing the match. And that's good pace. Now what does he do? Does he play the simple shot? I'd be playing it simple, drop it in dead weight, finish a bit there, roll in the 7 and leave the angle on that 8 to bring the cue ball around, but you have to take the risk and you have to watch the pace you don't scratch in there, because that's where the scratch point is if he plays that shot. So vital shot coming up now once this 7 gets rolled in. It's how good is the angle in the 8. Is he straight enough on this 7 just to roll it in? Let's have a look. No, he's got a lot more. Right, now, well, he can still go that direction if he's brave enough, because I love playing this shot. I love playing this shot with top and right. See, that's a chicken out shot. Right there. There is a chicken out shot. I mean, that is no bottle to get there. You have to play the top and right and run it into the corner to give yourself the shot. And Ants might have sold the match there. If he doesn't get this one, more or less sold it. But that was a bottle out shot if ever I saw one. Because you're not content to play a cut like that from that distance. And that, well, it's not ideal, because Bedhead's going to have to pick the point on that rail to play the bank. He's going to give it 2 chances. He should be giving it 2 chances. But he really has to punish Ants for that shot there. He has to take advantage of this. You have to make your opponent suffer for bottling out. And that's going in. Is it? No, it's not. Is it going to go safe? Well, I think if it's on the rail, this isn't easy. And that is not a good bank. Not in this game, it isn't. You either get this. Well, that's again giving Bedhead the chance for the bank. There's no way you can refuse the bank. You just simply have to make your mind up and go for it. There's no point in trying to play it safe. Just got to go for it. Give it 2 chances again. Watch you don't scratch in the top left-hand corner. And this time, well, the first one was a practice one. That's why he got that one perfect. And, well, Ants, if you watch this replay, I'm afraid you bottled out, my friend. You have to play the right shot to give the chance the cue ball to get up there. And he really choked in that one. And, well, the worst outcome is broke. And he's scratched. And Bedhead has the table at his mercy to seal the deal. Well, I don't know about you guys. What did you think? I mean, am I being so critical with that shot that he played on that 8 ball? He had to play it with top, inside right. Not a lot, just enough to help get the cue ball moving and get it around the angles and come across into that corner in the top right where the 8 ball is now to give yourself the shot in the 9. There's no way you play that shot if you've got enough confidence, and you know you have to take that risk. You're going to stay in the match or win a match. You have to play the shot, and playing a 9 ball from that high up with it so tight in the rail was nigh on impossible to pick the right spot to cut it. And that's what sold the match, I'm afraid. Right there, that was a shot. Because Bedhead now, well, Bedhead knows here that he can do a numpty thing. He has to make sure he leaves the angle. Well, he's the wrong side of the 5. And the 6 doesn't go, so he's going to have to run the cue ball, or he's going to have to leave a combo. He had to be here to get through for the 6 to get in there. I mean, even that shot was obvious. So now he's making it more difficult again. Is he going to leave the combo, or is he going to run it? He's going to leave the combo. Well, you'd give him this every day of the week, but where's the 6 ball going to end up? That's the problem. He's going to have to cut the 8, the 6 ball's going to go here. Is he going to have a decent shot? Oh, the 6 is going to go in at the same time in the middle. No, it's not. Well, he's landed in his feet there. Now, Bedhead, I don't think is going to take any risks. He's going to leave the high cut. Is he going to let it run? No, he's going to run to here and leave the high cut. Or is he going to prove me wrong? No, he's going to run it. That's the shot that Ant should have played. What I'm talking about. Get round the angles and let it run. And that has cost you the match. Right there, I've got video evidence to prove it. And I hope he watches it. And I hope he learns from it. Because from that point on, he was dead and buried. Well, folks, you can say I'm critical, you can say I'm wrong, but I say what I see. I've always done that, and I'm either right or I'm wrong. But right there is where Ant's lost the match. And Bedhead marches on. Don't go, folks, because I want to have a look at the bracket before you go. And we've got the bracket working. And, well, Ants will have a sore head after that one, because there's the result on the bracket. Ants is through. Bedhead is through. Excuse me. And let's look at it from the top down. If we look at the results here, there's one of the matches from yesterday. Real Poland Power is through to, what is that, round 8 or round 8 it is. On the one loss side, he won the match between himself and Semi-Pro 11-8. And then down here on the bottom half of the draw, we have Spectre Dawn against Mr. Bill. That is going to be the 23rd, which is excuse me, that's because I ran out of water. That is Saturday night. Who's that PMing me? I'm busy. And McClarkey is playing Acero at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is about 11 o'clock at night Acero's time. So that'll be a double header on Friday, I think I said. No, tell a lie, Saturday. And then on the winner's side, the match that I won't have, see this bloody bracket, Steve, somebody is going to fix it. It's so annoying. We have the match between Cobra and Baker Maker, and that is set for 7 o'clock on Sunday night. I'll be there. And the other match at the top of the bracket, sorry, is the one 2 hours later on Sunday night between Moz and Keith from Northern Ireland, Moz from England. I'll be in bed. Good luck to the two of them. And if you want to watch the stream, that'll be on Duffman's channel, Duffman2605, is it, or something, on Twitch. I assume he'll be streaming it, but I'll have the other two on the Saturday. So with that, folks, once again, thanks for your company, and take care, stay safe, keep your distance, and we will see you again soon. I'll bid you good night. I'm off for a cup of tea.